How is it that some people are immune to negativity? In fact, they light up every room they enter and inspire every person they touch. You want to be around them. You want to capture a piece of their energy. What is their secret? Are they born lucky? No. They have simply understood one of life's most fundamental rules. As the great psychologist Carl Jung said, the darkness that you don't meet will come back to you as destiny. They are people who have met their own darkness, their own fears, and what drains their energy, and they have learned to manage it. In this text, we will not just list 13 traits of these people. We will go much deeper. We will discuss how each of those traits can be awakened within you. Now, if you are ready, let's begin with the first key that will unlock that limitless power source within you. 1. The inner sun, the energy of quitting validation seeking. The first and perhaps most fundamental commonality of high-energy people is this: they are their own suns. What does this mean? It means they don't have to revolve around another star to be warm. They don't reflect someone else's light to shine. They generate their own energy. Now, pause for a moment and honestly ask yourself, how many people did you wait for validation from today to feel good about yourself? A smile from your boss, a compliment from a friend, a like on social media. Did your mood drop? Did your energy diminish when any of these didn't come? If your answer is yes, this shows that the control of your energy is in the hands of others. If they turn the faucet on, you fill up. If they turn it off, you drain. This is like endless begging, validation begging, love begging, energy begging. A high-energy person has broken this dynamic. They know this: you can't offer water to anyone with an empty cup. You must first fill your own cup. So, how do you generate your own energy? The answer lies in discovering what truly and deeply makes you feel good, regardless of what others think. It lies in those small rituals that are unique to you. Perhaps it's being alone for 15 minutes in the morning and drinking coffee. Perhaps it's listening to your favorite music at full volume. Perhaps it's engaging in a hobby that no one understands but that you are passionately devoted to. These are the fuels that feed your inner sun. Others may see them as silly or a waste of time. It doesn't matter. This is your power station, your rules. The high-energy person creates these small energy production moments throughout the day. They close their ears to the applause or criticism of others and listen to the melody of their own inner voice. Because they know that when you shine with your own light, whether others notice you or not loses its importance. You already shine. When you take this first step, that is, when you break your external dependency for energy, an incredible thing happens. People around you start to be drawn to you because you are no longer needy. Because the universe has a rule: neediness repels, wholeness attracts. When you are whole by yourself, only whole people like you begin to enter your life. Fragmented people, those who want to suck your energy, can no longer get close to you, because your light bothers their darkness. To the quagmire of complaint, the art of setting boundaries. Now you know how to light your inner sun. That energy, that warmth, is inside you. But there is a problem. There are things outside waiting to extinguish that light. Think of it like a swamp. A quagmire of complaint. You have someone like that around you, don't you? Maybe even more than one. For them, the weather is either too hot or too cold. The economy is terrible, people are mean. Their coffee is bitter, life is unfair. Their conversations are an endless list of woes. This is the quagmire of complaint, and its most dangerous aspect is this: it tries to pull you in. When you offer a solution, they list 10 reasons why it won't work. When you say something positive, they find and pull out the flaw beneath it. After talking to them, you feel polluted, weighed down, and tired. Because you took a step into the swamp, and the mud splattered onto you. Do you know what the high-energy person does? They don't fight with the swamp. They don't try to reason with it. They don't try to drain the swamp. Because they know that if you wrestle with a pig in the mud, you both get dirty, but the pig enjoys it. They simply walk around the swamp. This is one of the most powerful self-development tools, setting boundaries. When someone starts to complain, they change the subject. They pretend to listen but don't flow their energy into that conversation. If necessary, they politely end the conversation and move away. You don't have to be rude. You just have to protect your own mental health, your own energy. This is not selfishness. This is like an airplane's emergency announcement. Put on your own oxygen mask first. When you remain energetic and positive, you are more beneficial to those around you. You can't help anyone by drowning in the swamp. Remember, as Carl Jung suggested, people often project their unaddressed shadows, their dark sides, onto the outside world as complaints. It is not your duty to solve their problem. Your duty is to protect your own light. The first step to protecting yourself from toxic people and their negative energy is to refuse to enter their playing field. Don't step into the quagmire of complaint. It is that simple, and that powerful. 3 opportunity glasses, changing your perspective. So you protected your energy. But life is life. Things won't always go smoothly. Sometimes it will rain, sometimes a storm will brew. That is when the third trait that distinguishes the high-energy person comes into play. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret: no event is inherently good or bad. The meaning we give it is determined by the glasses we wear. Imagine everyone wears invisible glasses. Some people wear problem glasses with pitch black lenses. For them, the rain means cancelled plans and mud. A job loss is a disaster. A breakup is the end of the world. Everywhere they look, they see only obstacles, problems, and shortcomings. The high-energy person, however, wears a different kind of glasses, opportunity glasses. For someone wearing these glasses, the rain is an excuse to read a book with a hot coffee at home. It is the smell of the earth, it is abundance. A job loss gives them a chance to escape a job they never really loved and pursue their dreams. A breakup is a valuable lesson for self-discovery and understanding what they want. This is not about ignoring problems. This is not about playing Pollyanna. This is about knowing that every situation holds a hidden gift, a lesson, an opportunity. Think of your mind like a powerful search engine, like Google or Bing. If you constantly ask it, "What is the problem?" it will find and bring you hundreds of problems. But if you ask it, "What is the opportunity here?" it will then find and bring you the opportunities. High-energy people have made a habit of asking their minds the right question. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" they ask, "What is this event trying to teach me?" This change in mindset changes everything in your life. You are no longer a victim. You are no longer a plaything of events. You are an alchemist who can turn every situation to your advantage. Jung says that even the darkest moments carry the potential for the soul's transformation. He sees even depression as the soul's attempt to tell you something. Now ask yourself, which glasses are you wearing? When you look at your life, do you usually see problems or opportunities? For ghosts of the past, the freedom of forgiveness. How much burden are you carrying on your back? Think about it. That friend who disappointed you, that former boss who wronged you, that ex-lover who broke your heart. Perhaps the heaviest of all is the regret you feel for the mistakes you made yourself. All of these are like heavy stones tied to your back with invisible chains. You want to move forward, but they constantly pull you back. You hear their dragging sound with every step. They drain your energy. They condemn you to live in the past. As long as you carry this burden, you cannot fly at your full potential. You remain grounded. What does the high-energy person do? They choose to let go of these burdens. This is the magical act called forgiveness. But wait, forgiveness is often misunderstood. Forgiveness is not condoning the wrong that was done to you. Forgiveness is not saying, "It's okay, everything is forgotten." Forgiveness is definitely not letting that person back into your life. Forgiveness is not a kindness done for the other person. Forgiveness is an act you do for yourself. Forgiveness is refusing to drink that poison anymore. Because anger and resentment are like a poison that you drink while waiting for the other person to die. The only one who suffers is you. It steals your energy, your health, your joy. The high-energy person knows how valuable their energy is and refuses to spend it on feeding the ghosts of the past. They understand this: the past is not a place to live. It is a school to learn from. You take your lesson and you graduate. There is no point in staying in the same class. Carl Jung's concept of the journey of individuation is exactly this: becoming a whole person by integrating and healing the pieces of the past, the traumas, the complexes. So, how do you forgive? Think of the person or the event. Accept the pain it made you feel. Do not deny it. Allow yourself to feel that pain one last time. Then, say to yourself, I release the power this event has over me. I will not carry this burden any longer. I am taking my energy back. This may not happen in one go. Perhaps you will have to do it many times. But every time you do, you will feel a chain break. You will feel your back lighten a little more. Forgiveness frees you. When you let go of those burdens, the void that opens is filled with joy, peace, and new possibilities. That is when your energy starts to flow toward building the future instead of feeding the past. 5. The temple of the body, the physical source of your energy. We have talked about spiritual energy, mental health. But there is the other side of the coin. And if you ignore this side, even the strongest mind will eventually stumble. I'm talking about your body. It is your vehicle in this world, your temple. Now, be honest. How do you treat that temple? Do you give it the highest quality fuel? Or do you constantly fill it with junk food? Do you move it regularly and keep it vibrant? Or do you let it rust by sitting in a chair for hours? Do you provide it with the rest and peace it needs through sleep? Or do you constantly challenge it with stress and insomnia? High-energy people know that the body and mind are an inseparable whole. They understand that one cannot be complete without the other. No matter how spiritually strong you are, if your body is tired, your energy will be low. They know that taking good care of their body is not a luxury, but a necessity. This doesn't mean you have to be a marathon runner or a bodybuilder. No, it means getting the basic things right. What you eat literally becomes you. Processed foods, sugar, unhealthy fats, they don't just make you gain weight. They also cloud your mind, lower your energy, and make you sluggish. Live, natural foods, on the other hand, give you life. Energy. Movement is happiness. Going for a walk, dancing, stretching. When you move your body, it releases natural happiness hormones called endorphins. Your blood circulation speeds up. More oxygen goes to your brain. You will be surprised how even a 10-minute walk instantly changes your mood and energy level. And sleep. Sleep is that sacred time when the body and mind reset and repair themselves. Quality sleep lays the foundation for the next day's energy. Every hour you steal from sleep is an hour you steal from the next day's productivity, joy, and energy. The high-energy person respects their body. Because they know that keeping this house that their soul lives in strong is the prerequisite for having a high life energy. Every good investment you make in your body is a direct investment in your spiritual energy. Your temple is entrusted to you. How you treat it directly determines the quality of your life. 6. Curiosity muscles, the endless excitement of learning. Now, a question for you. When was the last time you learned something new just out of curiosity, even if you thought it wouldn't have any practical benefit? After school ends and we enter working life, most of us fall into a trap. We stop learning. We keep our minds cycling through the same thought patterns, like a bus running the same routes every day. And after a while, the world starts to seem boring. Life becomes monotonous. The mind rusts, and energy drops. Because the mind is just like a muscle. If you don't use it, it weakens. The high-energy person is a lifelong student. For them, the world is a gigantic playground. There are an infinite number of topics to explore, countless skills to learn. They know that learning something new is like opening new pathways in the brain. This keeps the mind fresh, flexible, and prevents it from rusting. This doesn't mean you have to get a PhD in quantum physics. It could be learning 10 words of a new language. It could be watching a documentary about the culture of a country whose name you've never heard before. It could be researching how a flower grows, trying to play a simple musical instrument, or learning the recipe for a dish you've never eaten before. All of these are exercises for your curiosity. High-energy people don't fall into the trap of, "I already know." They know that they have something to learn from every person, every event, every book. They ask questions, they listen, they research. This constant state of learning gives them a childlike excitement and vitality. Their appetite for life never ends because every day carries the potential to discover something new. Jung says that one of the most important parts of human spiritual development is to be open to the unknown. When you close your mind to new possibilities, new information, you are actually stopping the growth of your soul. Now ask yourself, how are your curiosity muscles? When was the last time you worked them out? What is one small thing you can learn this week just because you are curious? When you add this habit to your life, you will once again realize how colorful and exciting the world is. And this excitement will directly fuel your life energy. 7. The magic of the moment, not getting lost between future anxiety and past regret. Where does your mind live? For most of us, the mind is either in the past or the future. It either consumes itself with regret over a mistake made in the past, "I wish I hadn't said that. Why did I do that?" Or it worries about the uncertainty of the future. "What if things don't work out? Will I be able to pay the bills?" The mind swings back and forth like a pendulum between these two time frames. But during this swinging, it misses the only place where life is truly lived, the present. The two biggest holes through which energy leaks are past regret and future anxiety. They are like two hoses that suck your power from the present and flow it into time frames that do not exist. The high-energy person has learned to stop this leak. They know how to anchor their mind to the present moment. This is called mindfulness. This is a very simple practice, but it has the power to change your life. You can even try it right now. Just pause for a moment. Feel your breath. It's entering and leaving your body. The touch of your chair on your skin. The sounds in the room. Just notice them without judgment. This is what it means to come to the moment. High-energy people often give themselves these small, return to the moment, breaks throughout the day. While washing dishes, they feel only the warmth of the water and the smell of the soap. While walking, they notice their feet hitting the ground and the wind on their face. This doesn't mean stopping thinking. It means not letting your thoughts control you. Thoughts come and go, just like clouds in the sky. You are the sky, not the cloud. You can watch them pass by. You don't have to get caught up in them and drift away with them. As you practice this, you will see how much your mind calms down and how much your energy increases. Because instead of spending your power on the ghosts of the past or the illusions of the future, you focus it on the only real moment you are living, the present moment. This allows you to notice life's small pleasures. The taste of a coffee, a friend's smile, the warmth of the sun. Happiness is the sum of these small moments, and to capture them, you need to be here. 8. The generosity paradox. The moment giving is actually receiving. So far, we have talked about protecting your energy and boosting it, as if energy were a valuable treasure to be saved. But now I will tell you one of the most interesting rules of energy. Energy is the only thing that multiplies the more you give it. This may sound illogical at first. What? If I give my energy to someone else, won't mine decrease? No. The opposite is true. Think of it like this: you have a candle. You can light thousands of other candles with that one candle. Does the light of your candle diminish? No. On the contrary, it illuminates more. The high-energy person has solved this secret. They are not an energy hoarder. They are an energy channel. They are generous. But I'm not just talking about generosity with money. They are generous with their time. They truly listen to a friend without playing on their phone or having their mind elsewhere. They are generous with their knowledge. They share a beautiful thing they have learned so that others may also benefit. They are generous with their compliments. They notice a nice outfit, a successful job, or just a beautiful smile on someone and sincerely say it. They are generous with their thanks. They show their gratitude to the waiter who serves them, the bus driver, the people who make their life easier. These small acts of giving send a signal to the universe: I have plenty. I am in abundance. And the universe always responds to this signal. The more you give, the more comes to you. More love, more positive energy, more opportunities. Because people want to be around generous, positive people who give. Their energy is attractive. The negative and selfish person, on the other hand, does the opposite. They constantly think, what will I get? They are an energy black hole. They only suck, never give. And after a while, no one remains around them. They become lonely. Carl Jung says that one of man's most fundamental drives is the desire to serve something greater than oneself, to find meaning. These acts of generosity are those small meanings you add to life. Now ask yourself, what can you give someone today? Without expecting anything in return, just for the sake of giving. A smile, a thank you, 5 minutes of attention. You will see that that small act of giving will nourish you the most. It will boost your energy the most. Because the purest form of giving is actually the most powerful way of receiving. 9. Drama resistance, not getting swept away in someone else's storm. Life is like a theater stage, and some people love to play drama on this stage. For them, everything is a crisis. A tiny problem turns into a gigantic tragedy. They constantly argue with people. They take offense, they plot. Their own lives are like an endless soap opera. And worst of all, they try to include you as a character in this series. They want to pull you into their chaos with phrases like, "Did you hear what I said? Can you believe how he could do this to me?" Or, "Are you on my side or hers?" They expect you to take sides, to be angry with them, to be a soldier in their war. This is one of the most insidious traps for energy, someone else's drama. The high-energy person does not fall for this game. They don't even buy a ticket to watch the drama from the audience seat. They completely leave the theater. This doesn't mean being insensitive. If a friend truly has a problem, of course, you listen, you support them. But a problem is one thing, and drama is another. A problem wants to be solved. Drama wants to be fed. Drama feeds on attention, anger, and chaos. It doesn't want a solution. The high-energy person makes this distinction very well. They do not allow someone else's storm to disturb their own inner peace. They remain calm. They are objective. They do not take sides. Because they know that the moment they take a side, they have been pulled into that storm. They protect their own mental and emotional space. They know this: everyone is responsible for their own life. Everyone must manage their own emotional reactions. You are not the trash can for someone else's emotional drama. When you show this resistance, drama-loving people eventually move away from you. Because you don't give them the fuel they want. They go to find new people to burn with, and your life calms down, finds peace. Your energy is saved instead of being wasted on meaningless wars and gossip. That valuable pure energy that you can use for your own goals, your own happiness. Energy flows where attention goes. When you pull your focus away from drama, you also rescue your energy from that chaos. This is a step that will free you incredibly. 10. The art of solitude, the power of self-sufficiency. Are you afraid of being alone? For most of us, the answer is yes. We are afraid of silence, of being alone with our own thoughts. That's why we constantly seek a stimulus. We grab our phone, we turn on the TV. We constantly make plans with people. Anything to avoid that moment of silence, that moment of solitude. Because in that silence, things we don't want to face surface, our fears, our anxieties, the lies we tell ourselves. The high-energy person is not afraid of solitude. On the contrary, they need it. They know the vast difference between solitude and loneliness. Loneliness is a deficiency, a helplessness. Solitude is a choice, a fullness, a power. They are self-sufficient. They don't constantly need someone or something external to be happy, to feel good about themselves. The times they spend alone with themselves are for recharging, listening to themselves, and resetting their inner compass. Just as a phone needs to be plugged into an outlet to charge, the human soul needs to withdraw from the noise of the world and retreat into itself to charge. Introversion, one of Carl Jung's most fundamental concepts, describes exactly this energy-gathering process. According to Jung, the extrovert person gets their energy from interaction with the outside world, while the introverted person gets their energy from their inner world, from the time spent alone. A healthy soul is one that can balance the two. High-energy people have managed to strike this balance. They enjoy having a coffee by themselves, going to the cinema alone, or taking a solitary walk in nature. These moments are not a weakness for them but an act of self-love and self-respect. When you can be alone with yourself, an incredible thing happens. Your dependency on others decreases. You no longer use people as a tool to suppress your fear of loneliness. Your relationships become based on a healthier foundation. Because you no longer need them. You choose to be with them. This is moving from the pushiness of neediness to the attractiveness of choice. Take time for yourself. Allow that silence. It may be uncomfortable at first, but behind that discomfort lies the opportunity to meet your best friend, yourself. When you establish this friendship, you will never truly feel lonely again. 11. The sacredness of the word no, the shield that protects your energy. No. Such a simple word, isn't it? Just 2 letters, but for many of us, it is one of the hardest words to say. We are afraid of hurting people's feelings. We are afraid of looking selfish. We are afraid of missing opportunities. We are afraid of not being liked. And because of these fears, we say yes to things we never actually wanted. You say yes to an invitation you don't want, you take on a task you don't want to do, you agree to help someone who drains your energy and time. Every time you say yes, you are actually saying no to something else. When you say yes to that unwanted invitation, you say no to a peaceful evening spent resting at home. When you say yes to that extra work, you say no to the time you would spend on your own project or with your family. When you say yes to the person who sucks your energy, you say no to your own mental health. The high-energy person knows there is a sacredness to saying no. Saying no is not an attack. Saying no is a defense. It is the invisible shield that protects your energy, your time, and your boundaries. They know that a person who says yes to everything cannot truly say a real yes to anyone or anything. Because their energy and focus are so scattered that they cannot concentrate fully on anything. To be able to say a powerful yes to what is truly important, your passions, your loved ones, your own spiritual and physical health, you must learn to say no to everything else that is unimportant. It will be hard at first. Maybe some people will be offended. But over time, you will see that people who truly value you will also respect your boundaries. Those who do not respect your boundaries are already the people who shouldn't be in your life. Saying no is not selfishness. Saying no is self-awareness. It is knowing the value of your own energy and using it wisely. When you start using this shield, you will be amazed at how you regain control of your life. 12. The purpose compass, the power of the question why. So far, we have talked about 11 different traits, 11 different habits, generating your own energy, setting boundaries, forgiving, being curious, and so on. These are all very powerful tools. But there is a problem. If you don't have a compass, even the strongest ship gets lost in the ocean. You need something to hold all these traits together, something to give them meaning and direction. A compass. This compass is your why, your purpose. What gets you out of bed in the morning? Is it just to pay the bills? Just to get through the day? Or is there more than that? The high-energy person has found a reason in their life. This doesn't have to be something monumental like saving the world. Maybe your why is to provide a good future for your children. Maybe your why is to be the best at what you do and leave a mark. Maybe your why is to touch people through your art. Or maybe your why is simply to be a better, wiser, more loving human being. What it is doesn't matter. What matters is that you have a why. Because that why is your fuel in the hardest times. It is the inner voice that tells you to keep going when your motivation is gone, your energy is low, and you want to give up. A person with purpose is not like a leaf being tossed around in a storm. They are like a tree whose roots reach deep into the soil. The wind blows, the branches shake, but they do not fall because they have a strong trunk, a purpose, that holds them up. Carl Jung says that one of the greatest tragedies in human life is meaninglessness. A life that has lost its meaning also loses its energy. Purpose is what gives meaning to your life. Stop and ask yourself that most fundamental question: what is my why? What am I here for in this life? What excites me? What problem do I want to solve? What do I want to contribute to the world? Finding the answer to this question doesn't happen overnight. It is a journey, a search. But the moment you start this search, your life begins to change color. Because you are no longer just living. You are living for something. This purpose compass shows you which way to go. It whispers to you which people to say yes to and which to say no to. It tells you where to spend your energy. It is your wisest guide. And when you find this guide, you reach the final and most important trait, the ultimate secret of high-energy people. 13. Life is a game, be the player. We have come to the final step. A mindset that summarizes everything we have discussed and perhaps is more important than all of them. High-energy people do not take life with deadly seriousness. They know that life is a game. This does not mean they are irresponsible. On the contrary, they have understood the rules of the game. They know that sometimes you will win, sometimes you will lose. They know that when you fall, you have to get up, dust yourself off, and continue playing. They know that making mistakes is part of learning. Most of us live life as if every moment were a final exam. We punish ourselves for every mistake. We feel like the world has ended with every failure. This creates incredible pressure and stress on us. And this stress sucks our energy like a black hole. A person with a game mindset is lighter. They take themselves less seriously. They can laugh at their own flaws. They know they don't have to be perfect. This is a kind of enlightenment. It is accepting the transient nature of life, its ups and downs. It is stopping worrying about things you cannot control and simply focusing on doing your best. Think of these 13 traits. They are all skills you need to be a better player in this game. Being your own sun is generating your own energy for the game. Setting boundaries is keeping the playing field clean. Wearing opportunity glasses is the strategy to turn every situation to your advantage. Forgiving is dropping unnecessary weights to run faster. Taking care of your body is keeping your game vehicle at its best performance. Being curious is discovering new levels of the game. Staying in the moment is living the game in the most intense way. Being generous is gaining more rewards by contributing positively to the game. Staying away from drama is not wasting your energy on unnecessary side quests. Being able to be alone is taking a break to think about your strategy. Being able to say no is sticking to your game plan. Having a purpose is knowing why you are playing the game. And finally, being the player is remembering to have fun, to experiment, and to trust the process while doing all this. When you raise your own energy, your frequency changes, and you begin to attract people, situations, and opportunities that are in resonance with you, that vibrate at the same frequency. This is the fundamental form of the law of attraction. After this, I want only one thing from you. Choose just one of these 13 traits. Just one. And take a tiny step this week to incorporate that trait into your life. Now it's your turn. Real change begins with what you do after watching. That's why I want you to write in the comments section. Which of these 13 traits felt like it was spoken directly to you? Which one touched a deep part of your soul? And more importantly, which single trait will you choose to work on and incorporate into your life this week? I will read every comment you write. Because we are not alone on this journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to turn on notifications to be a part of this community of people who inspire each other and take steps to raise their energy. You will never miss the next step that will transform your mind and your life. Remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and your journey starts today. This is the journey of becoming the master of your own energy and attracting the life you deserve. The game is on, and you are the main character.